Can you imagine a 1923 multiverse where Harrison Ford isn't playing Jacob Dutton? Well, right before the Star Wars actor said yes to the role, series creator Taylor Sheridan was contemplating having another actor play the part. Of course, Ford jumped at the opportunity, and 1923 wouldn't have been the critical hit it is now without him. But what about the other actor? Let's find out who was in the running and debate whether he could have made a better Jacob Dutton. 1923 is everyone's favorite spin-off series. In 2022, Taylor Sheridan expanded the Yellowstone universe further when he announced another spin-off series, 1923. The series would serve as a conjecture between the first spin-off, 1883, and the parent series. So a sequel to 1883 and a prequel to 1923. In line with Sheridan's westerns, the series focused on the Dutton family during the Prohibition era and the Great Depression. Storyline aside, 1923 became one of Paramount's most anticipated spin-offs when the company announced who'd serve as the leading duo. Hollywood megastars Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren were announced as the series leads as Jacob and Cara Dutton, respectively. Only one season, that's 8 episodes, has been released so far, but the show is well on its way to becoming a cult classic. Critics love it, and fans can't wait for more. Unfortunately, with troubles over at Yellowstone and Sheridan dedicating his time to filming the finale, Season 2 has been on hold for a really long time. Fans were in for an unexpected surprise, however, when in July 2024, that's almost 2 years after Season 1 wrapped up, it was announced that Season 2 was in the works. The Austin Film Commission broke the news when they reported that casting for the second season of 1923 had begun, as well as talks of a possible set relocation. This might just be one of the first series in the Yellowstone franchise that ventures outside of Montana. The series was initially renewed for a second season back in February 2023, although no official date for its release was announced. It was only after the Austin Film Commission broke the news on Instagram that fans started speculating over a possible release. Right now, based on the limited information that fans have, it's a safe bet that the second season will be released in early 2025. While we're waiting for new episodes to drop and pick up where the first season left off, let's talk about the fan favorites of 1923 that have made it into the hit that it is today. Harrison Ford agreed to the script before reading it. In one of only 2 times in his long-spanning career, Ford agreed to the role Sheridan proposed way before the script was written. That's right, the only other time that the Hollywood actor has agreed to take on a project without reviewing the script was for his role on Shrinking. According to Sheridan, he needed a leading man to commit to the role before he wrote the script. In the series creator's opinion, it's always best to write the script around the central figure over finding one later on. Interestingly, there was a slim chance that Ford would take up the role. This was because of a commitment he'd made back in 2002, where he stated that he would only take one project a year. To be fair, this was when Ford was at the height of his career, and he determined that he needed to take a step back. Ford fared well with his one-project-a-year policy until the COVID-19 pandemic effectively shut the world down. A lot of businesses suffered, and the film and television industry were no different. New projects were halted, and Ford claimed that he now had to revise his policy to make up for lost time. That's why he agreed to star in Sheridan's spin-off series way before a script had even been written. The story of how he was cast in the role of Jacob Dutton is something fans could only ever expect from a Hollywood icon such as Ford. According to Sheridan, he'd invited Ford to his ranch in Montana where the actor flew in on his own plane. The two then talked about 1923, Yellowstone, and everything that was expected of Ford for the role. At the end of their meeting, Sheridan told Ford that he needed a yes or a no answer immediately. He'd already announced his plans to write a spin-off series and couldn't waste any time on negotiations with a leading character. Harrison Ford was either in or out, and he had a split second to decide. The actor claimed that he was impressed with Yellowstone's storytelling and success, plus Sheridan's ability to craft multiple unique universes. It was a no-brainer for him, and Harrison said yes immediately. Who else was in the running for the leading role? Let's imagine a world where Ford had said no to playing Jacob Dutton. Did Sheridan have a backup plan in place? While the series creator claims that everything worked out exactly how he'd planned with Harrison in the leading role, he did admit that there was one contender in the back of his head. He was Sheridan's second choice, with the creator claiming that Jacob Dutton was a role best suited for Ford. Now imagine if Chris Cooper had taken on the role in 1923. Fans were debating the possibility of a 1923 multiverse where Cooper was the leading man, and it's not something they're against. In fact, many believe that it was a tie between the two who've played several Western characters in their career. Fans banded on Reddit to discuss the possibility of Cooper getting his shot in the Yellowstone universe somehow. Jacob Dutton will forever be a role fans of the show associate with Harrison Ford, but that doesn't mean Cooper can't fit in somewhere too. In fact, the consensus was that Cooper had all the right stuff to make him an eligible candidate to play Spencer Dutton. Of course, right now that role is reserved with Brandon Sklenar. No one's suggesting that the 70-year-old Cooper should replace the 34-year-old. However, their similarities inspired fan theories that suggest yet another spin-off series that revolves around Spencer, with Cooper being cast in the main role. If there's one thing everyone knows about Taylor Sheridan, it's that the guy loves creating more spin-offs. Several are in the works already with ensemble casts. Cooper will fit right in. Helen Mirren didn't need much convincing. The British actress is probably one of the most decorated actresses of all time. Being the only performer to win both the British and the American Triple Crown Awards, casting Helen Mirren in a screenplay guarantees its success. This is why fans were ecstatic when they learned that the critically acclaimed star was making her debut in the Yellowstone universe in 1923. According to Sheridan, he convinced Helen in much of the same way that he convinced Ford. He stated that he invited the actress to his Montana ranch to witness firsthand the scenic beauty of the West. He also told her the particulars of the project, but told her that there wasn't a script just yet. This meant that Mirren, one of the world's most sought-after actresses, was also going into this project completely blind. The series creator claimed that he made the same offer to Mirren, telling her that she only had a brief moment to think about it because he had to start writing the script immediately. Mirren claims that she was impressed with the storytelling of Yellowstone and the way Sheridan guaranteed that 1923 would be a hit. It was an instant yes from her, much like it was from Harrison. In the end, Taylor Sheridan managed to bag not one, but two highly decorated actors in the industry. Of course, this also raised production costs, with some estimates suggesting that it took between $30 to $35 million to produce every episode. In hindsight, it paid off. According to Paramount, the debut episode brought in 7.4 million viewers in both linear and streaming telecasts, making it Paramount Plus's biggest debut ever. Yes, that's including the numbers that Yellowstone pulled on its debut back in 2018. Now, with Season 2 being hyped up, there's a possibility that 1923 breaks its own record. The only downside here is that Season 2 will definitely be the last season of the show. Sheridan had made it clear when the show was first being filmed that he intended it to be a 2-season series, each consisting of 8 episodes. However, knowing the mastermind behind the Yellowstone universe, Taylor's probably already prepping for a spin-off for a spin-off. Which character from 1923 would you like to see more of in other Yellowstone spin-offs? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you back here with another video.